Ivona. And so it is very important for us to be able to understand our own roots and where we are coming from, and then to be able to work with others in the workplace, in other organizations, and in our own family life. Dealing with effective listening, our body language, our use of words, and the kind of patterns that we develop over time. Ivona can have a bad day, and so she can end up saying something at work that she shouldn't have said, or end up speaking in a tone that she should not have spoken. But if Ivona has been speaking that way for the last 5 years, then Ivona is not having a bad dinner. Ivona is having a bad life.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so there are quite a bit of things about Ivona that Ivona has to look into, and Ivona needs to watch out for that pattern, because that means that other people at DBS are going to start avoiding Ivona as much as possible because they do not want to deal with Ivona's life. You see what I mean? So interpersonal communication
Yeah,
is
you look at
incredibly
things like-
important.
Very, very important. And the interaction.
Yes.
And not just interaction as lecturers, because you're imparting knowledge.
Right.
A lot of times you hear a lot of stories as well, so you learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
What's happening.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You know, I teach developing leadership presence, which is not on offer right now, with Dr. Kazimir. And some of the stories that the students tell us when we deal with issues of communication and diversity and so on, we have we're in a lot of trouble, in Dominica, in terms of how happy people are on the job. We live in our bubble, I suppose, and you don't realize that some people have it really hard when they get to the office. There's bullying going on in certain offices. There is micromanagement. There are all these kind of things that really affect how people are able to communicate and how effective people can be. And I remember my old boss in the States, when I did my undergraduate program, I was doing my internship, and she said something to me, and I'll never forget what she said. She said, you spend the majority of your awake hours at work. They should be happy. Because you spend more, when you're at home, more of that is spent sleeping, Ivona, you understand? So more of your awake hours are spent at work. So they should be happy hours. And I've never forgotten that.
And all right, very interesting. Let us look at the course, the fundamentals of conversational Creole. I can recall once you all were on, we were having this discussion on the short courses, and this program was not on. And I can remember after the program, I got quite a few messages, people asking me to ask UWI why they're not bringing this on again. Tell us about the fundamentals of conversational Creole.
Well, you're quite right. It's one of the courses that we haven't had we haven't had it last year. We didn't have it last year.
No, I doubt.
But we brought it back because we found that course to be a very important course to have. One, because a lot of young people know they can't speak a word of Creole. I grew up in Collioure, where we spoke Creole when I was a child. While I understand it, to write it and even some of the words, I'm still I'm not as sharp as I used to. And the other thing you have, well, research has shown, people who actually are adept in their own Creole, they are a lot better in terms of writing the English language.
Oh, yeah.
Those are facts.
The
Say that
patois,
again about the research, say
the
that
various patois of the Caribbean, yes.
Tell us about what the research has shown.
That if you understand and if you do your best to be both to be literate in whatever the language is, the dialect is, then you are also able to use the English well and to know when to interchange them. So for a long time, they made us feel that if we were using our patois, if we were using our languages, that we would not be able to write English properly. But that's not true. That was never true. It's better that you are able to adapt and to be able to use it better, and to even be able to mix them together. There's nothing wrong with our languages. It's just that for a long time we were made to feel that our languages were inferior.
Yeah, because the other thing to the patois is a clear structure. And it's that clear structure when you do English.
Right, the grammar rules.
Helps
Because Creole has those, yeah.
It helps in terms of that. But the other thing too, we only push our Creole during independence. We want Dominicans to actually learn the language.
You push it more, maybe not.
Well, we push it more there, yes.
Well, DBS does its part to push it every day.
Every
single day.
Yeah, but we want Dominicans to not only appreciate the Creole language or Creole, but we want to push it that people are better able to speak the language. Because when we go overseas, That is what we often fall back on, the Creole, to identify us as Dominicans or St. Lucians.
Or to talk for people not to understand what we're saying. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I like that. That's true. That's true.
But it's a course that a lot of people have asked to put back on.
Particularly our diaspora, right?
Diaspora people, yeah.
Okay.
We have people, for example, who live in America, and while they can speak the Creole, their children can't speak it.
Right.
So those are some of the people who actually come on board and learn how to speak the Creole language.
By the way, is there an increase in the number of people residing abroad who sign up for courses? Have you
Oh, no
seen
doubt,
any?
no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Since COVID, oh yeah.
No doubt. When we started, we had the idea to do it before COVID. Actually, it was before Maria. We had the idea.
Since 2015,
Yes.
yes. And it was a slow start. We had a Montserrat was the only other place we could convince to join us via Zoom while we were teaching face to face. And now it has exploded. We have people getting up in their bed with 5-hour difference.
Yes, yes.
To be able to participate in the courses in Germany, in England, in wherever, because most of them are via Zoom, and so they're able to join in that experience. So it has really been tremendous. The response has been tremendous.
We have people from St. Martin, St. Kitts, Antigua, the entire chain of islands.
Yeah.
doing
The
our
Jamaicans
programs.
will log in an hour early. The people from Belize 2 hours, because they're 2 hours behind. So when we're starting at 6, it's only 4 o'clock in Belize. But they do make the sacrifice and the efforts. They leave work early and do what they have to do to be able to sign on and so on. And we're very appreciative of that. And more, we are getting more people from other places to give that nice blend. So when we have a discussion, we're not only talking about a Dominican perspective, but we're allowing others from other places to be able to share their ideas and their experiences. And I speak a lot of Creole in my classes, so I sometimes have to stop and say, well, for those of you who do not speak Creole, what I was saying was, and I'll give the phrase again, but that's okay. They're learning anyway.
Wow, see the advances in technology.
Yes,
See what it has
yes,
done.
yes. We had that vision 2015,
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And to see where we started and where we are, it's just a testament of the hard work the site staff has put in to make that reality. I mean, we were face to face, all our classes were face to face.
Yeah.
We actually still rent places so we could have
Because
our
we did not
classes.
have enough
We had no
space, Ivona. We used to rent convent and SMA because there was not enough space.
So
And
I
imagine
remember-
big grown men and women
Yes.
having to lean over a desk, at, a teenager's desk at convent and so on. We had to put fans at St. Mary's
yeah.
because the classrooms were hot and the students were saying, that doesn't compare to the River Breeze by UWI, But thank God. And as Barry says, the site staff has been really accommodating so that people like Cedric can be driving in his car to get home or can learn from the comfort of his home. And if people do not have the technology that they need, if something is wrong with their internet on a particular day or anything like that, and they want to go to a resource center, they can do that, or they can even come to UWI and use one of the computers that we have there and log in and be able to use as well. So it's very accessible.
But
I
not only
remember
that, when you miss the class, you get the recording.
The recording,
That
yes.
again, I remember doing courses at UWI. Not so long ago, though, we did face-to-face. I think it was, before
Before COVID,
Before COVID,
2019,
20
yes.
But
Yeah.
the classes were packed.
Yes.
Classes were really packed. I
yes.
think it was leadership and supervisory management or something like this, and human resource management. Really packed classes.
So they are still packed, but now online.
Online,
And
yes.
yes. mhm.
So I can just imagine the interaction.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
enjoying it, right, Cedric?
Very
You're
much
enjoying
so.
the interaction on Zoom, and if you want to wave, you can wave. Or if you want the teacher to take notice of you because maybe you want to ask a question, it's easy to do this, and that works out well, right, for you?
Yes.
Okay. Cedric Joseph, of course, on with us, and he is really grateful for his course. You graduated already from your course?
He will be next week.
Oh, next week
Yes.
is your graduation. So you're looking forward to that big day you can hold, yes.
Yes.
Yes. What do you look forward to most? What goes through your mind, though, when you consider how far you have reached,
Well, it's accomplishment. I just happy I did it. I went through it. I completed it, and I want to do more.
Yeah,
With-
that's it. That's it. So if you had any challenge in doing the course that you did, you would what? Call your lecturer maybe to explain something to you, or
Yeah, we'll just ask him a question. It was very easy. Just ask him a question. If you have a issue or you don't understand something or you need to go back, basically just ask him. Or he would also, like you say, you can get at the end of each class you would get an email with all the information that was on the slides that was happened in the class. So you'd have all the information there. Or you could reach out to your classmates and ask them what's, because I had basically everyone. Well, once we got into groups to do a group project, and since we got into groups, I could also link with my members of my groups if I didn't understand something.
All right. Let us look at the customer service course. Very interesting.
Customer
one
service
as
is
well.
one of the most important, most critical areas in any business.
I like-
So if
I
you're
like
into entrepreneurship, good customer service is essential.
I like that you said that, because some people believe that they don't need to learn more. They'll tell you,
Ah,
"Oh, I know how to
no.
tell people good morning, and you know what do you want to."
Customer
Nah,
service
it's
is not
much more
just
than
about
that.
good
Yes.
morning. It requires
Yes.
good interpersonal relations. It requires your ability to break down conflicts when you see it happening. It requires even phone skills. You're on the phone. If the tone is wrong, the person on the other end can pick that up. You're having a bad day.
Or a bad life. Sorry.
This for a long period of years is a bad life.
It's a pattern, so it's a
Yeah.
bad life.
So it is important. I always give the example. You are at UWI, front staff. A student has a problem, they have not received their grades. So they start from Lago, walk up to UWI in the hot sun,
Far.
open the door, and they're angry. You as a side staff can match that anger with the you have to understand quickly. The person hasn't gotten their grades. They have walked up the hot sun, they're sweaty, and they're upset. You have to listen to what they're saying
Sometimes you have to put yourself in somebody's
and see
position.
how you can basically solve their problem.
Yeah.
You see, quite often you enter a place, the customer is angry and the person match that anger. Before you know, that person is not coming back to your organization. You see, customer service is essential. Good customer service is what's going to make your organization be better than the
Definitely.
competition.
Man, I know of a few people who would do well with that course. Oh my
Just
goodness.
the last month we had one of the Christians
workshops, yeah.
do a workshop in customer service, and they really praised the customer service we had. But I really want more organizations to get their staff
Yeah.
trained in the area of customer service. Better and help bolster your telephone skills, your interpersonal
Even
relations.
driving, even whilst driving as well.
Of
So
course.
it's not just in the office.
Of course, not just in the office, of course. The people who are going out and do your sales rep, everybody. Because you need that good relation between the internal customers, the people you work with, and the people who come and patronize your organization. So it's not just the people who are patronizing. You're thinking of the people you're working with. How do you deal with them? And bad customer service is it's a ripple effect.
I think almost everybody needs this course.
I think so too. I think so too.
Man, a lot of people need this course. In
Yeah, man.
healthcare, everywhere.
Because the
Yeah.
thing is, I think people don't join the dots. If a customer is unhappy, they don't join the dots as in how that affect the organization totally. I bring in say about $500 every month to the organization. That's $6,000 for the year. I take that $6,000 off. I get 10 other people who shop make about the same $6,000 a year. So that's 10. That's 60,000 plus my that's 66,000 a year
That you have lost.
that you have lost. Now you're thinking now, how are you going to cover that cost in terms of paying your staff in? So you have to cut your staff, right? You're thinking now, how do you, in your mind, how you in terms of the amount of purchases you're going to make, you have to cut down your purchases. So you see how that has affected your organization in such a profound way. What is fascinating is that when you have good customer service, the good news travels slower. The
Oh,
bad
yeah.
news travel a lot faster.
Yeah.
Imagine calling like a switchboard operator. Hello, good morning.
I know. This
it's
person's having a
like
bad
that.
life. I
Yes.
would know.
Yes.
But I would have not only that. The phone is ringing and the person does not answer the
Oh,
phone.
that's the worst.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. Or when they finally answered after maybe 5 rings, hello,
And,
you know, and you
and,
can
and,
just
and you can hear
just
the,
yeah,
you can hear the tubes.
That's it. That's
In
it.
the voice.
Even if they have not said it,
Yeah,
you can
you can
hear the
hear
tubes.
it.
Why
You
did
can
you
hear
call?
it.
Yeah, man. But customer service is essential for organization success.
So customer service this course is on Mondays and
On
Wednesdays.
Monday and Wednesdays.
So
Yes.
together with conflict management, fundamentals of conversational Creole, and interpersonal
Mm-hmm.
communications, right? So that's Mondays and Wednesdays. And then you have the Tuesday courses, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
The human resource management one, the public speaking and professional presentation skills, the strategic planning and management, and wedding planning and decoration. I like that, wedding planning and decoration.
Yes,
You continue
yes,
with
yes,
this. Why? Because there's a need for it.
There is not only a need for it. It's an
And
area. It's an area people can actually go into and actually
Yeah.
start a business. You can do wedding planning. Yes, I mean you do it on the side.
You do it for your
But,
cousin, you do it
yes.
for your auntie,
But
and you were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you
consider-
sustain and make it a
Exactly.
business
That's it.
rather than be doing it for free for everybody? And everybody comes to you and say, what color is matching that? And what color is matching this? You train in it, and then they have to pay you to tell you for you to tell them which colors are matching this and which colors are matching. So what we're finding, Ivona, is that a lot of areas in Dominica, a lot of people are very good and very talented in a particular area. So we're not there to train you to be good in that particular. No, we want to help you so you can use that skill that you already have to operate an effective business. So we'll look at all the different parts of wedding planning and to show you how to become strategic in terms of being able to manage successfully.
So there's a face-to-face component with this one.
No, we're able to do
Everything is-
everything
oh,
online
okay.
now. In fact, Dr. Kazimi was thinking about bringing it back to where they can do their expo, where they can show all what they've done in terms of in a classroom setting, where we can set up the classroom like we used to do before COVID. But even if that is not possible, because we have not decided yet, it can still be done via video. I'm finding as I go along more with these courses that I teach and I encourage people to do, everything you can do in person,
You
there's
can do,
a
yes,
way
yes.
to match that experience online. So for now, I what we have been doing is using the videos and so on for students to showcase their spread as well as their portfolio to show
I like this.
what they have done. So there's more than one way
And
to
it
be able to
gets
effectively
families
do that.
involved as well,
Oh,
because
yes.
I'm speaking
Of
from
course, of
experience
course.
as well. Apart, from courses I would have done at UWI, I did at UWI. My daughters did courses as well.
Yes.
And I can remember Amber doing public speaking and what she had to do in person. And, we too had to play our part and help her, to
Yes,
set up.
of
Customer
course.
service as well. They had to do this. And, we
And
had
she
to-
did developing leadership
Yes,
presence
yes,
too with
yes,
Dr. Kazmi and
yeah.
I. And she was quite far away at that time,
Yes,
but
right,
still was
yes.
able to excel. Yes.
So that's very good. Cedric, you're listening to all of these courses that UWI has, of course. You have an idea, but you just hearing more about it. I'm sure it gives you the urge to want to sign up for one or two more
Yes,
courses.
I'm going to do public speaking
Hey, I
and
like
professional
this.
presentation.
Of
Oh,
course,
nice.
these things are important. What I want you to do as well is to encourage, your friends, especially young men, to sign up for courses. Sign
Well,
up for.
hopefully, when they hear my voice, they
Yes.
hear me on the radio, that will probably inspire some of them.
Dr.
for
Barry
sure.
Kazimi and Dr. Kimon Joseph, they're very smart. They brought you on. So they can call a few people. No, that's good.
And
That's
it's
really
nice to know that he's planning on taking my course. So the public speaking course, I
yeah,
teach
you'll
that
enjoy,
course,
yes.
Cedric. And so I would definitely encourage you to take it. In that course, we look at speeches to inform, speeches to persuade, and speeches to inspire. We also get a chance to look at some professional presentations like welcome remarks, vote of thanks, how to introduce a speaker, how to give a professional toast. So there's a wide range of presentations that we have to learn and go through, and that you will have to deliver, as well as to be able to listen to and critique the work of others. So I'm looking forward, Cedric, to you being part of that class. It's a very busy course, but I'm hopeful that you will leave fulfilled.
When is the deadline for registration? I don't want to rush you. I'm looking at the time. By the way, we owe you some time, so that's okay. But we have an outside broadcast at 10:30, Prime Minister
Right,
Roosevelt's
remember.
press conference. But in terms of the deadline and payment plan and all of that, let's speak to this.
Okay, so the deadline is Wednesday 11th for registration. So we're hoping that everybody can get registered by Wednesday 11th of June. Our rule of thumb what would prefer is that once you have registered, if you're doing a payment plan, you make the first half. If you're paying all, that's perfect. You can pay at the site, or you could pay at the bank.
You could do more banking as well. We can send our more banking details for people who want to pay via more banking.
Well, already signing up, I would imagine.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So it's quite a busy time, like I said initially, for us as we get ready for our summer program.
Let's hear remarks from you, Cedric, as we close the program. What would you like to say before you leave?
Well, it was I would like to say it was UE is an experience. I want to make everybody out there know that it is a really good experience. So you learn a lot, and you get to meet people. You know, you get to exchange ideas. It's don't sit on it. You know, we sit on a lot of things. Let's get up and let's
man.
get there.
Of course. Okay, Dr. Barry Casimir, let's hear from you as we end.
Okay, I just want to thank the people who continues to support the Global Campus. And I do hope that you continue to support us in these new summer courses. I want to thank Cedric for coming on, and the UB team, and everybody who support us.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Kimon Joseph?
I just want to encourage people to sign up for the courses and programs. You hear Dr. Casimir and I and our guests all the time talking. If you have not yet been part of our UE family, then this is your time. We want to encourage people. The cost is low. And if you want payment plans, those are available as well. This is your time to really put your best foot forward and say yes and come on board and join the UWI family. Those of you who are returning after doing courses and programs with us, we will look forward to welcoming you back to UWI Global Campus when you sign up for our courses and programs. And thank you very much, Ivona, and thank you to DBS Radio for allowing us the time to come on and talk about our courses and programs today.
Thank you. Just give us the telephone number quickly. So
the telephone number is 285-3482.
285-3482. Thank you. Thank you, Cedric.
Thank you.
All the best to you, man.
All right, thanks.
Okay, and that's where we end. Shortly, we'll be joining the outside broadcast at the Financial Center. Stay tuned.
Your future